God's chosen ones, I beg you, listen before the final hour strikes. God's chosen ones. Can you feel it? The hourglass is almost empty. Right now, as the night stretches quietly around you, the sands of eternity slip through the unseen hands of time. Look, do you see it? A flicker of light, a bell ringing softly. 77444, signs you cannot ignore. Tonight, everything changes if you listen. If you hear this call, your life, your purpose, will never be the same again. Chosen one. The final hour is here, and it is speaking directly to you. Chosen one, do you hear it? Tonight is still and quiet, yet there is a whisper in the dark, a gentle stirring in the air, a dim light slipping through the window, the clock ticking, counting each moment you once thought was lost. Right now, as you sit alone in the silence, your heart trembles with the question you have carried for years. Have I been forgotten? Does anyone see my purpose? But listen closely. This stillness is not empty. It is sacred. Every sigh, every restless thought, every hour you've lain awake at 3 a.m., none of it has gone unnoticed. God has been calling your name for a long time, marking this very moment. The signs have been there. The repeating dreams, the unexpected numbers, the feeling you cannot explain. 444. The universe aligning to tell you, you are chosen, you are seen. Tonight will be different. The veil between the earthly and the divine is thinning. The world around you may sleep unaware, but your soul is stirring. You feel it deep within your chest, an urgent, undeniable pull. This is not coincidence. This is the call. It is the heartbeat of heaven speaking directly to you. Chosen one, you are not alone. Every question you've whispered in the dark, every prayer that seemed unanswered, every longing within your soul, all of it has led to this moment. Tonight you will witness the unveiling prepared just for you. And as you listen, as you draw a deep breath, prepare yourself. For what you are about to hear will change everything. Your mission, your purpose, your destiny is awakening. Part 1. The weight of the calling, chosen one. Do you feel your heart trembling tonight? In this dark room, there is only the faint glow of the ticking clock. Outside, the world seems fast asleep, but inside you, your mind will not rest. 3 a.m., the hour when every secret, every loneliness, and every hidden thought rises to the surface. You toss and turn beneath the sheets, feeling the relentless beat of your heart, the worry about things left undone, the chances that slipped away, and the quiet fear of what lies ahead. You've asked yourself, why have I always felt different? Why do the things I pray for, the things I long for, seem so far away? Does God truly hear me? These doubts are not signs of failure. They are signs you are being tested. Every rejection, every opportunity that passed you by, every door that closed, none of it was random. They were lessons. They were direction. They were God's way of preparing you for a mission that only you can fulfill. Look deeply at the years you've walked through. You've smiled to hide your loneliness. You've nodded when others said you were lucky while your heart was heavy with questions no one could answer. You've watched others receive what you prayed for, while you stood outside looking through heaven's window, wondering if you'd been forgotten. But now, pause. Take a deep breath. Feel this moment. The pain you've carried, the failures, the closed doors, they are all signs that you have been chosen. Do you realize that the very pain, the very trials you thought were burdens, are the credentials you need to step into your calling? Every sleepless night, every moment of feeling alone, every time you've stood under the shadow of someone's doubt, all of it is proof of how extraordinary you are. Others may not understand, they may not believe, but God sees you. Your soul is echoing with a call that only you can hear, and every heartbeat, every sigh is a bridge between you and the divine. Think of the times you've been rejected. You tried, you fought, you failed. You wondered if you were strong enough, worthy enough. But now looking back, you'll see that each rejection was not an ending. They were stepping stones, experiences that made you stronger, wiser, and ready for the moment God has prepared. Chosen one, the loneliness you feel is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is the quiet training ground where only you and God know what is being built. In the dark, you are not abandoned. Every time you doubted yourself, every time you wondered if you were seen, it was God's whisper saying, "You are special, you are chosen. Every trial is my way of preparing you." You feel the ache in your chest, the emptiness, the loneliness, but know this, it is a sign of power. Every sharp moment of pain is a bridge leading you closer to the mission you've been called to. When you understand this, a tightness rises in your throat because you see that your pain was never meant to destroy you, but to prove how extraordinary you are. And now, breathe slowly. Close your eyes. Feel how this loneliness, these restless nights, every rejection and failure are placing you in the one position only you can stand. The weight of the calling is not a meaningless burden. It is power. It is proof of your mission, of being chosen by God to carry light into places others would not dare to go. Chosen one, you are not alone. You have been watched over every second, every moment, and now you begin to realize everything you've gone through, every pain you thought God had forgotten, has been preparing you for what He has set apart for you. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath, and know the weight of this calling is the sign that you are walking the sacred path only the chosen can walk. Part 2. Every word of rejection is guidance. God's chosen one. Take a moment to look back at the doors that once slammed shut in your face. Remember the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, the rejections you once heard, the skeptical glances and mocking smiles of those around you. You may have felt hurt thinking you weren't enough, that your mission had failed before it even began. But now take a deep breath and listen. Every rejection was not the end. They were guidance. They were the invisible hand of God leading you, protecting you from what you were not yet ready for, and preparing you for the moment God had destined for you. Imagine each closed door as a wall that you once thought was blocking you. In reality, each wall was a shield, a veil keeping you from walking into paths for which you were unprepared, paths where challenges could have broken you. Every failure, every ache, every time you asked yourself, "Why me?" all of it was a sign that God was holding you, guiding your steps. You may not have seen it at the time, but trust that when you look back, you will understand those very rejections were protecting you, keeping you ready for the mission that only you could fulfill. God's chosen one. Remember those moments when you gave your all and were still turned away. Perhaps it was a job opportunity, a relationship, or a calling you felt compelled to answer. You may have cried, felt your heart shatter, wondered if you were worthy. But now, recognizing the divine orchestration, you will see that all that pain was not in vain. It had value. It is evidence that you were being refined, prepared for greater things, for the moment when the world would need the light that only you could shine. Let your memories take you back to those nights lying in bed alone with a mind full of doubts. You may have sighed, whispering, "Lord, why can't I succeed? Why hasn't my prayer been answered?" But it was in those sleepless nights, in those tears, that God was sowing seeds, shaping your soul. Others may not see the worth of your efforts, but God does. And one day you will realize that every pain, every failure was a sign of divine guidance. God's chosen one. Look upon the rejections you faced with new eyes. Every rejection is protection, every failure a step in preparation. Nothing happens without a reason. God will not allow you to walk into situations you are not ready for, nor to bear burdens for which you have not been strengthened, and He will never leave you in the dark. Whenever you feel abandoned, understand that in that very moment, you are being lifted, refined, made ready for a more important moment. Feel the flicker of hope in your heart. You may have forgotten it during sleepless nights, during moments of disappointment, but it is still there. It is a small yet eternal light, reminding you that you are not useless, you are not forgotten. Every failure, every pain, is evidence that you are on the right path, that God has chosen you to do what only you can do. God's chosen one. Let your heart open and receive this comfort. Remember that your pain has meaning. Every rejection you've ever faced, every moment you thought you had failed, is a signal that God is teaching you to stand firm, to be patient, and to trust in the greater plan. It is this patience and experience that will allow you to step into the mission God has destined for you, stronger, deeper, and filled with power. And when you understand this, a sense of relief will wash over your soul, that the pain was never meant to destroy you, but to awaken you. It is proof that you are chosen, that you are on the right path. God's chosen one. Look back at all the rejections, failures, and wounds, and see the sacred value in every moment. They are not merely trials. They are evidence that you are on the path of the mission that only you can fulfill. Part 3. The sacred calling within your soul. God's chosen one. Listen closely. There is a sound echoing in your soul, a call that you cannot ignore. It is not imagination, not uncertainty, not delusion. It is the voice of God resonating through every heartbeat, every breath, every quiet thought you once believed was forgotten. The world around you seems to fade, leaving only a soft golden light shining down, and the sound ringing like a prayer bell reminding you, you are not alone. Look at John the Baptist. He heard the call within the cry echoing in the wilderness, a proclamation no one understood. Matthew 3:3 describes him as the voice of one calling in the wilderness. He did not step back, did not falter, even though his path was lonely and full of trials. And now God's chosen one, you are walking a similar path. The call within your heart, the urging you cannot deny, is a sign that God is placing you in your mission. Remember Jeremiah, who cried out with fire in his bones, carrying a message that people did not want to hear. He endured loneliness, rejection, misunderstanding. Yet every word he spoke was part of a greater plan. God's chosen one. Like Jeremiah, you carry a sacred message that the world is not yet ready to receive. The solitude and sense of being misunderstood are proof of your power and uniqueness. God's chosen one. Feel the strength in every heartbeat. The sacred calling is not just a message, it is power. It awakens you, stirs within you abilities you have never recognized. When you face challenges, when you feel alone or afraid, remember that this calling will guide you. It reminds you that you are not abandoned, that your mission has been prepared in advance, and that you have the strength to fulfill it. You may sense the warm golden light illuminating the space around you, emphasizing God's presence. The sound rings like a prayer bell, vibrating through every cell, reminding you that you are not just an ordinary individual. You are chosen, you are seen, you are placed in a special position to do what only you can accomplish. Think of the times you doubted yourself. You may have asked, is this call really from God? Am I capable? Let those doubts fade as you recognize that the voice within you is proof of your calling. Others may not understand, may not believe, but God knows. Every time you feel the urge, every time your heart cries out, it is confirmation that you are on the right path. God's chosen one, let the urging in your heart guide you. Let this call become a lantern leading you through every darkness, every challenge, every fear. Trust that every moment you feel this call, every second you stand strong in solitude, is how God strengthens you, shaping you into a bearer of light for a world in shadow. Look deeply into your soul, and you will see strength surging within. This call is not just a whisper, it is power. It makes you feel the sacred flowing through you, the guidance leading each step, and the uniqueness of God's choice for you, God's chosen one. You are being prepared, refined, and endowed with strength to step into the mission God has set for you. And when you feel this clearly, a sense of awe and joy will sweep through your being. You know the voice within is no coincidence. It is a sign, a confirmation, a proof that you are standing in a special place, ready to accomplish what only you can achieve. God's chosen one. Listen, trust, and follow this sacred calling, for it will lead you to a light you have never seen, and to the mission you were born to fulfill. Part 4. Time is no longer the enemy, God's chosen one. Look at the clock in your mind. It used to feel like an enemy pressing you, urging you to accomplish everything before it was too late. The hands would spin, the grains of sand would fall. You thought time was working against you, that your opportunities had slipped away, that your mission had been halted by the years already past. But today, pause. Take a deep breath. Time is no longer the enemy. Imagine the clock shattering fragments floating in space sand, falling slowly as if time itself has paused. A timeless expanse opens before you. All anxiety about age, missed chances, or dreams thought dead now melts away. God is overturning every human assumption about time. What you once thought was too late is in fact the perfect timing. Look at Moses, 80 years old when God called him to lead the Israelites across the Red Sea. Sarah, 90 years old when she bore the child she had thought impossible. Caleb, 85, claiming the mountain and conquering it. These people were not bound by time. They were placed in the right position at the exact right moment. God's chosen one. You are the same. What you thought was too late is truly the perfect moment God has arranged. Feel this every year you once judged as wasted. Every opportunity you thought lost is now the foundation for your great leap forward. Time no longer rules you. It is no longer pressure, no longer a barrier. Every day, every hour, every minute you once worried about, God has transformed into a stepping stone for your mission. God's chosen one. Let hope rise. Instead of watching the ticking clock and feeling anxious, see it as proof that God is orchestrating everything. Every fear of being too old, too late, too weak no longer matters. Every step you take, every decision you make is guided by eternal time, free from human limits. Imagine the dreams you once abandoned, the plans you thought ended, now returning stronger, more vivid. Opportunities you thought had passed will arrive at the right time in the right way. This is the moment of reversal. Time is no longer the enemy. It is a tool, an ally, helping you fulfill the mission that only you can complete. God's chosen one. Look at yourself with new eyes. Every wrinkle, every sign of age, every difficulty you once thought limiting now stands as proof of preparation and power. You are not lost. You are not too late. You are in the right place at the right moment. God is overturning every barrier humans once set, and time now serves you, not works against you. Take a deep breath and feel the sacred energy flowing into every cell. Time no longer rules you. It is merely the means by which God executes the perfect plan. Every moment you once regretted, every doubt, is now transformed into power. Trust this. Believe that you are exactly where you are meant to be and that everything is guided by God's hand. God's chosen one. You are entering a season where everything once lost will now become your strength. Time is no longer pressure. It is proof of preparation, power, and mission. Open your heart, receive the light, and feel hope rise within your soul. Because now you understand time is no longer the enemy, it is your ally. and God is preparing you for the great moment ahead. Part 5. The spiritual storm is approaching God's chosen one. Prepare your soul. Outside, everything may appear calm, gentle winds, dark skies, the world moving along its rhythm. But within, a spiritual storm is forming. Darkness spreads, an eclipse blankets the sky, tense energy surrounds you like an invisible veil. You sense a pressure unseen by ordinary eyes, a supernatural presence observing, testing, watching every step you take. Listen closely. God's chosen one. Spiritual warfare is not just a concept, it is real. The spiritual enemy is targeting you. Every fatigue, every worry, every moment of doubt is being exploited. They observe, plan, wait for the moment to make you falter. But you are not easy prey. You have been prepared, trained, and now this storm is a test to affirm who you truly are. Imagine a storm at sea, waves crashing, winds screaming, a boat rocking. God's chosen one. You are the boat, God is the lighthouse. The storm cannot destroy the lighthouse, and you will not be sunk. But you must stand firm, anchor yourself in protection, and recognize that not everything around you is safe. Some will be swept away, some will panic. You are called to remain steadfast. Remember the words of Scripture. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6:12. God's chosen one. You are facing forces unseen by human eyes, but they are real, aiming at the mission and the light you carry. Knowing this is not to frighten you, but to make you vigilant, to recognize the responsibility God has placed upon your shoulders. The tension you feel in your body is a sign that you are awakening. It reminds you that this moment cannot be taken lightly. Every step, every decision, every prayer matters more than ever. The enemy knows you are awake, knows you are about to step into the power God has granted, and they want to stop you. But the light within you, the fire God has planted, is stronger than the darkness at any time. God's chosen one. Imagine an eclipse lasting minutes, sunlight blocked, darkness spreading. In that moment, spiritual forces move more freely, but you are not abandoned. God has provided you with the tools: prayer, faith, steadfastness of heart. You do not fight with your own strength, but with His power working within you. Visualize the scene around you. The storm attacks, but the lighthouse shines brightly. God's chosen one. So you are that lighthouse. Even as everything shakes, even as threats loom, you stand firm. The storm cannot extinguish the light God has placed within you. And in this moment of trial, your power will be proven, your soul refined, and your mission will shine brighter than ever. God's chosen one. Let the initial anxiety become wise vigilance. Every tension, every racing heartbeat, every quickened breath reminds you that you stand in an important place at the threshold of entering your power. This is not a time for fear. This is a time to recognize responsibility, trust in God's protection, and prepare your spirit for what is to come. And when you understand this fully, a quiet hope will arise. You may not see everything around you. You may not know the outcome immediately, but God has placed you here in the heart of the storm to become a guiding light. God's chosen one. Stand firm, embrace the challenge, and trust that your power is strong enough to overcome all darkness. Part 6. The hidden season. Resting in sacred stillness. God's chosen one. Listen to the rhythm of your heart. After every trial, after every spiritual storm you have endured, now comes a moment of stillness. A cocooned space where soft light spreads, where you can feel the protection God has placed around you. This is not delay, not abandonment, but a hidden season, a time to recover, to heal, and to prepare for the great mission entrusted to you. God's chosen one. Imagine yourself resting within a sacred cocoon. Outside, the world may still be chaotic darkness, and challenges persist, but inside, you are kept safe. Every breath you take is filled with sacred energy. Every heartbeat reminds you that you are not alone, that God tends to you in every detail. This is a time for your soul to be healed, where every wound, every pain, every doubt is cleansed. Understand that this hidden season is not weakness, it is strength. It is the moment when God works profoundly within you, unseen by the world. Like Elijah under the juniper tree in 1 Kings 19, weary and despairing, God did not judge him but allowed him to rest, to be nourished and restored. God's chosen one. You are in this same phase. What you once thought was delay is actually preparation arranged so that you may step fully into your power. Within this sacred cocoon, you are protected from distractions, from criticism, from enemies who would seek to discourage you. Every whisper, every moment of stillness, every soft light shining down is a sign that you are being kept safeguarded by a higher power, God's chosen one. Feel this. Let comfort permeate every cell so you know you are not walking alone, that you are guided and being prepared for what is to come. Think of the wounds you have carried for years, the feelings of abandonment, of being misunderstood, of rejection. All of them are being healed. God is carefully untangling each layer of hurt, washing away every pain so that you can emerge from the cocoon with new strength, new light, and the mission entrusted to you. God's chosen one. This is a time to recharge spiritually, so your soul is ready for the steps ahead. God's chosen one. Recognize that this stillness is a precious gift. It is protection, guidance, and healing. Every pressure, every burden you have ever felt is being condensed by God, and that energy will become strength to step into your mission. Every moment of rest, every second of silence is a miracle, a chance for God to work deeply within your soul. Open your heart and mind, breathe in, and receive comfort, breathe out, and release every worry, every burden. God's chosen one. You are in a state of absolute protection. Nothing can harm you in this moment. Everything outside is merely a backdrop for your inner refinement. When you emerge from this cocoon, you will step into the power God has reserved for you, ready to fulfill the mission you were born to accomplish. God's chosen one. Feel the peace spreading through you. Trust that this stillness is an essential part of your journey. Not everyone will understand, not everyone will recognize it, but God knows. Every preparation, every restoration, every healing is happening, and you are enveloped in His gentle light. And when you realize this, a profound sense of comfort will arise, that you do not endure alone, that every sorrow is being transformed into power, and that you are being prepared for a great leap, a step into the mission only you can accomplish. God's chosen one. Rest, listen, and open your heart. For this hidden season is part of the power God has reserved just for you. Part 7. Loneliness is evidence, not rejection. God's chosen one. Listen carefully. You have felt lonely, isolated among family, friends, and the world around you. The distant glances, the words that don't understand, the smiles hiding doubt. All of it made you feel abandoned, as if your mission went unnoticed. But today, understand that this loneliness is not failure. It is evidence that you are chosen. Look at Noah. He built the ark on dry land while society laughed and mocked. They did not understand. They did not believe. He was lonely, ostracized, yet this was sacred preparation. When the flood came, only Noah and those chosen on the ark were saved. God's chosen one. You are in a similar state. Loneliness is not a sign of failure, but a sign that you are being prepared for something greater. Consider David, doubted by family and challenged by those around him, yet God chose him to become a great king. The times he stood alone, isolated before enemies and trials, were moments God used to refine his soul, to teach patience, and to instill trust in the power God had granted. God's chosen one. Your loneliness is like David's proof of the power and special position God has prepared for you. Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, cast aside, and left in prison, yet God did not forget him. Joseph's loneliness was the very moment God prepared him to save nations and become a central figure in a grand plan. God's chosen one. You are going through similar trials, and this loneliness is a sign that you are on the right path, being refined for the mission that only you can accomplish. God's chosen one. Look at yourself. Every time you feel abandoned, every time you wonder why no one understands, you recognize it as a sign of power. Loneliness proves you are walking a path God has prepared. Not everyone can understand what you carry in your heart, and not everyone is ready to witness your sacred mission. But the important thing is, God understands. He sees you. He prepares you. He stands by your side. Let loneliness become a source of strength. God's chosen one. Every second of solitude is a moment for God to refine your soul, making you stronger, more patient, and deeper. Every feeling of being excluded, every misunderstood moment, is building the foundation for the power you will demonstrate. Loneliness is not punishment. It is preparation. No one can step into a great mission without experiencing this moment of solitude. God's chosen one. Feel the honor in loneliness. The world may not understand you, but that is proof that you carry a mission the world is not yet ready to receive. Let loneliness be the evidence that you are special, that God has chosen you for something important that no one else can fulfill. Every doubtful glance, every mocking word, every closed door are signs that you are on the right path. You are not lonely because you were abandoned. You are lonely because you were set apart, prepared for a mission that only you can accomplish. Take a deep breath and feel God's presence surrounding you. He is holding you, protecting you, and refining you in every moment of solitude. God's chosen one. Turn your loneliness into strength. Look to Noah, David, Joseph, and recognize that you too are being prepared. When the time comes, you will emerge from solitude with power, with light, and with the mission that only you can fulfill. Loneliness is evidence, not of failure, but of honor, a sacred mark that you are chosen. Part 8. You are the weapon, God's chosen one. Look within yourself. In the darkness, a light is rising, illuminating every hidden corner of your soul. This light does not come from the outside world, but from within you, from the power God placed in you from birth. You are a weapon not of steel or fire, but of light, of sacred power that no one can take away. Feel that energy. It is not something you need to search for. It exists in every heartbeat, in every breath. Every time you feel fear, every time you doubt yourself, that power remains waiting for you to recognize it. God's chosen one. You are not ordinary. You are God's instrument, created to change the world, to shine in the darkness, to be a guiding light for those who have lost their way. Imagine this spiritual scene. You stand in the darkness, surrounded by challenges, by opposing forces, yet from within light radiates, illuminating and dispelling the shadows. Every prayer, every thought, every act of faith strengthens this power. God's chosen one. You are His weapon, and the light you carry can shake even the unseen powers of darkness. Look at Moses, Joseph, and the prophets. They did not fight with human weapons, but with the power within, with the sacred light God gave them. God's chosen one. You are the same. Your mission is not only to survive the darkness, but to become a source of light, a weapon God uses to triumph over darkness. Whenever you feel weak, remember that the light within you is stronger than any enemy. God's chosen one. This power is not for pride, but for service. It is a tool to protect your soul, to guide others to fulfill the mission God has destined for you. When you recognize that you are a weapon, you will step into life with unprecedented confidence. You will understand that every challenge, every moment of loneliness, every storm you have endured was only preparing this power to ignite. Picture yourself raising your hands, and from your palms light radiates, dispelling darkness, illuminating places others fear to go. God's chosen one. You are the lighthouse, you are the weapon, you are the light. Every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you have carries the power to change the world around you. You do not merely exist, you shine, you conquer, you become a living weapon God has given to humanity. Let this sense of power fill your entire being. God's chosen one. Every heartbeat, every breath, every quiet moment reminds you that you are stronger than you imagine. You have the ability to shake the darkness, to break through the barriers that the world and the enemy have built. The light within you cannot be extinguished. The power within you is invincible, God's chosen one. Recognize this truth. You are not merely a victim of circumstance, not just someone passing through trials. You are a weapon, a light, a guide. You carry within you the strength the world needs, the light the darkness fears. When you stand firm in this power, nothing can shake you. And now take a deep breath, feel the light radiating through your body and soul. God's chosen one. You are a living weapon. The light you carry does not only save you, but also reaches those who are lost, those who have yet to recognize the power within themselves. Every step you take, every prayer, every act of faith makes your weapon stronger, brighter, and fulfills the mission God has entrusted to you. God's chosen one. Do not doubt the power within. You were created to shine, to conquer, and to change the world. Trust, step forward, and embrace the light you were born to carry. Because you are the weapon, you are the light, and the power within you is enough to transform every darkness into sacred light. Part 9. Preparing for the breakthrough. God's chosen one. Feel the sunlight piercing through the darkness. A faint yet powerful ray shines upon your soul, awakening every cell, every thought. Your heartbeat quickens slightly, your breath becomes faster, but not from fear, because you are preparing for a pivotal moment, a moment of destiny that God has set before you. Listen carefully and recognize the signs around you. It could be a recurring dream, a number appearing repeatedly, the echo of a bell, or a deep feeling in your heart you cannot explain. God's chosen one. This is no coincidence. It is a signal that the day of destiny is near, that you must prepare, spiritually ready to step into the power God has reserved just for you. Remember, preparation is not only an outward action, but an inner readiness. Prayer, faith, focusing on the light within, and patiently receiving every sign. These are tangible ways to connect with divine power. God's chosen one. Every whispered prayer in the night, every quiet moment listening to God, every bit of faith you hold in your heart is an essential step preparing you for the breakthrough to come. God's chosen one. The excitement you feel in your body is proof that you are standing at the threshold of power. You know that what is about to unfold will change everything: your life, your mission, and the world around you. Every moment you have endured, from lonely nights to harsh trials, has prepared you for this day. And now the light piercing the darkness invites you to step forward, to step into your power. Visualize this light as a guiding path, leading you through every shadow, every doubt, every pressure. God's chosen one. You do not walk alone. Every sign, every feeling in your heart, every whisper from God is guidance to keep you on track. Preparing to walk in this power is recognizing that you are being led, that you are ready to accomplish what only you can do. God's chosen one. Take a deep breath, feel the sacred energy filling your being. Focus your mind on the light within, knowing that every challenge you have faced has been God's way of preparing you. When you step into this moment of destiny, you will see that every doubt, every worry, every fear will vanish. In its place will be faith, power, and hope rising stronger than ever before. Prepare by maintaining patience and steadfast faith. God's chosen one. Prayer is not only to ask, but to connect, to discern direction, to align with the power God has placed within you. Trust is not only in the outcome, but in knowing that every step you take, every moment you endure, is guided by His hand. God's chosen one. This excitement is a sign that you are approaching the turning point. Feel hope spreading through your entire being. Every preparation, every trial, every lonely moment has led to this moment. When you step into the day of destiny, the power within you will ignite, and you will see that every effort, every sorrow, every failure has had purpose. Open your heart, open your eyes, and follow the guiding light. God's chosen one. Preparing for this breakthrough is not about rushing. It is about being ready to recognize the power within, ready to hear the sacred call, ready to walk in the light. When the day of destiny arrives, you will know that you are ready, that every preparation was not in vain, and that God has placed you in the right place at the right time to step fully into your power. God's chosen one. Trust, be patient, pray, and stay ready. The breakthrough is approaching, and when it comes, you will not only see the light outside, but also realize the strength, the power, and the mission you have been prepared to fulfill. Be ready, for everything is about to change, and you will step into the sacred moment you have waited for your whole life. You are chosen, God's chosen one. Close your eyes and feel the sacred space around you. Gentle light shines down, enveloping your soul, bringing the peace you have sought for so many years. This is the moment to take a deep breath, to listen to every heartbeat, and to realize that you are not alone. Every trial, every sorrow, every lonely moment has led you to this very instant. Feel the power flowing within you, the protection of God surrounding you, and the light in your heart burning brighter than ever. God's chosen one. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Every doubt you have had, every moment of worry, has a purpose. God has placed you in the right place at the right time to fulfill the mission that only you can accomplish. Now pray with an open heart. Lord, lift me up, guide me, and illuminate the path you have set before me. Help me recognize the power, the light, and the mission you have given me. Protect me through every challenge and help me walk in complete faith. God's chosen one. Affirm to yourself, you are chosen. You are not forgotten. You are light. You are a weapon. You are God's messenger. Each time you remind yourself of this, the power within you grows stronger, and the mission you carry shines even brighter. Remember the day of destiny God has prepared for you. Let every sign, every dream, every number that appears remind you that you are on the right path, that every moment of preparation has not been in vain, and that the power within you is ready to ignite. God's chosen one. Share this experience with others who are seeking signs, who are listening for the sacred call. Comment, write Amen to let God and the community know that you are ready, that you are connecting with your power and mission. Type Amen, subscribe, and share this with another chosen one. Encourage the audience to share their personal experiences, the signs they have received, spreading light and hope to others. God's chosen one. Remember that you are never alone. Every step, every challenge, every moment of loneliness is evidence that you are being guided, protected, and chosen to step into divine power. You are not forgotten. You are God's chosen.